these men the same. Their relentless drive, their willingness to leave everything in the ring will be exactly what makes this fight unforgettable.
I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of. There's a reason why I'm here.
Lamont Roach, you and your people was up slamming.
Because in boxing, greatness isn't just measured by where you start. It is defined by how you finish. Lamont Roach Jr. began in the same world, in the same gyms, chasing the same dream. But the paths that brought them to the
first episode of Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach, Gloves Off, which precedes their rematch, was just released on Prime Video after a lengthy wait. Clips from the series have been making the rounds on social media, and it has excited the boxing community.
Of course. But the only thing that's gonna matter is when we get in the ring. If you ain't on your A game, if you ain't focused,
Trying to hear that.
I'm telling you right now, you better tighten up. Because if you don't, my mother, I'm gonna make it look like a cakewalk.
Now, I promise you, on my mother, you better leave the females home and the kids. On my mother.
Naturally, the program began with Gervonta Davis as the narrator, detailing the events following the rematch. Since he was the aside, beginning in the ring, it was clear how depressed Gervonta Davis was and how eager he was to make amends for the disappointment of his performance. Tank has been appearing more hungry and driven at the gym, even though he previously stated that he has had enough of the brutal science and will soon hang up the mitts.
Good try.
Hell no, that was weak.
Come on. I need both hands.
That body shot hurt. Go back down there.
Keep pushing forward.
He gonna piss blood tonight. I haven't been in the ring in like 14 months.
Tank also appeared healthy in the gym film, and he seems to be in good mental health despite dealing with the resentment of a loss and a tarnished reputation. The narrator admitted, "This is undoubtedly the most talented guy, Tank. Has met the odds makers believe Davis turns around and takes care of his business on August 16th, but everyone agrees that Lamont Roach has a great shot. Tank is fighting for a lot of things. He wants to leave the sport on the highest possible note if he must. Strange for such a heavy-fisted fighter. Absorbing information and being risk-averse for extended periods of early rounds, it now makes more sense why he practices the way he does. It's about survival and staying alive, which makes sense given his difficult childhood."
10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, one more. Good, keep the head. Roll under the bed. Good job.
That lawnmower, that's that. Start that.
I made the decision to train in DC because, I have...
Lamont Roach, who was training in Plant City, was then shown in the film. He laughs and declares, "I suppose that I'm going to beat him up brutally." How much he thinks that the truth is only known to him. Roach is a cook. The Reaper appears to be bright in the camp. He is, of course, a lifer. He has experienced the highs and lows of the ring, just like Tank. He poses a serious threat. Roach of Tank remarks, "He's a snake in the ring," referring to Gervonta Davis's strategy of surrendering early rounds in anticipation of the knockout blow.
We still in the gym. Same day. Next day. Next day.
Baby, yeah, man. Take that dance and something, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, some people just gotta know what you getting yourself into. He just might be a little off, and he be tripping sometimes. That's it. Like, I know that. People gotta know that they dealing with a wild card.
Tank reaffirmed his need for therapy in spite of his previous remarks about retiring, which ultimately resulted in a lackluster performance. He was questioned about his mental health for the previous 2 years during an interview. He acknowledged that his past had left wounds, and he believes that therapy will help him recover more completely, but only after he ruthlessly accomplishes his goals against Roach. The narrator refers to the event as a classic clash between Baltimore and Washington. DC Tank doesn't appear concerned or overconfident, but the construct isn't as traditional as the Puerto Rican versus Mexican pairing.
Baltimore and DC, two different worlds, but they so close. We grew up together in the sport. It was always just a tension and rivalry.
Even as kids, when Tank and Roach fought, those in the know paid attention. They were too young.
Roach is seen making a video call with his son, like he normally does. Regarding what would be a huge career best, he remarks, "I'm delighted he's going to be able to witness this. Like Davis, he is 29 years old and has persevered. Despite the ring's manipulations, he talks of losing to Jamel Herring, which led to sadness. I got my tool bag and went to work," Roach said. He took charge 4 years later, defeating Hector Luis Garcia and winning the case. For the record, Tank faced Garcia and lost. Roach enumerated a number of qualities, but the most forceful one, he said, is possessed by the boxing's most explosive man.
You gonna feel all this we gotta do? Look, hey Tank, we're gonna go 35 for 12.
Many years ago, legendary champion Marvin Hagler remarked that it's hard to get up and do road work at 5 a.m. when you're sleeping in silk pajamas. In other words, when you're hungry, when you're chasing something.
Fans are now more likely to believe that the Reaper might pull off an upset of the year contender with a knockout after shocking everyone by fighting to a draw in the first battle. Although Roach is reliable, his power is mediocre at best. Tank might undertake less information collecting than normal as a result, and he might take a shower sooner to get rid of the head trauma drama. The battle should be decided by his skill. Set regarding the battle, Roach remarked, "I worked my head off. Why not kick his ass out if he's leaving?"
It's like people selling that stuff, like, you know, even the picture where everybody was in the room, that shit look like some devil shit. Facts though, some dope, like, yeah. That shit like some devil shit, like they sold that stuff.
Yeah, you go with that.
That was crazy. And you seen how the guy he looked at the scorecard. Yeah.
Roach remarked, "I like to prove myself right, and I darn certainly like to prove them wrong. They've really messed me up right now. So you know I have a lot of people I want to annoy." All things considered, Roach predicted that it would be the year's biggest battle and the beginning of his legacy run. At 130 or 135, he will then try to face another champion. "I want to demonstrate my superiority." Gervonta Davis is already enjoying training camp and is prepared to face the formidable Lamont Roach and start the retirement process. According to Boxing News 24, promoter Leonard Ellerb stated that he knows this during an interview with Play on the Laboratory.
If you got a talent, the money gonna come, for sure. So I wouldn't even tell them to focus on the money. Like, if your talent there, don't even worry about the money. That's all you gotta worry about, the prime.
Though he admits that Roach might not be as well known to casual boxing fans who haven't watched the sport extensively, trainer Greg Hackett calls the forthcoming Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight an excellent contest.
Smaller than him was Pitbull. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just in height and stature. He was, you know, technically bigger than Tank too. But you know, Tank is comfortable at 135, so I don't blame him.
Hackett attributes Roach's more relaxed demeanor to the fact that he lacks the flair of fighters such as Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Trainer Greg Hackett told YSM Sports Media, "To those that know Lamont, and to those who know boxing and have been around, it's a fantastic fight. That flair is what's lacking. Lamont is a gentleman who is laid back. Thus, he's not that kind of guy. Because Lamont is a light-skinned youngster with green eyes. He doesn't appear to be a particularly nasty bull, so even if he tried to intimidate, you wouldn't be completely intimidated. Tank appears insane, as if something is wrong with him, and he has tattoos and slightly strange eyes. He will be putting a lot of additional effort into it. He will be wearing an outfit and all that. He already has the braids. Tank is therefore arriving in style."
About that fight? It's boxing. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. It's boxing.
That's right.
That's right. What kind of fight?
Interview Lamont is just a cool bull, but he is a champion and can fight. He deserves our respect as such. The issue is that, despite the fact that this is a terrific fight, we are constantly searching for excitement and big contests. Tank Davis is known to Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach is known to Tank Davis. The fight is local, and it's significant for their area. It's huge for the DMV. Because of the caliber of boxing, I bring up the fact that they both faced Hector Garcia. Tank had only engaged in combat with him a year and a half prior, Hector Garcia. In reference to Tank and Roach's past with Garcia, Hackett said, "So that's the same level of boxing."
The world of boxing is what it is. I mean, you just don't ever know what can happen in the sport.
Right.
I mean, we take losses every day, even though I may have had my hand raised every time I went out there and performed, but when I lost my...
Interview, remember to enable alerts so you can be informed when we publish high-quality stuff like this. Peace until the next time.